are now joined with Arkansas State Offensive Coordinator Walt Bell. If you have a question for Coach Bell, please press *1 to get in the queue to ask questions at this time. Again, *1 to get in the queue to ask questions. The Red Wolves have last played a Tuesday night game against Louisiana Lafayette last week, a 37-27 victory on ESPN2. And now Arkansas State prepares to host Georgia State this Saturday, October 31st, for a 6 p.m. kickoff at Centennial Bank Stadium. Coach Bell, before we get to questions, please give us your thoughts on the victory against Louisiana Lafayette and the upcoming game against Georgia State.
Yeah, first and foremost, it was a great team victory. And really, fortunately, even more than that was how healthy we came out of the game. For it to be such a physical game, for us to come out of there health-wise, was huge for us, especially with how thin we are in some spots. In terms of our upcoming opponent, obviously last week being the win that it was, it really allows every game that we play from here on out, the ability to control your own destiny, a little bit, just to make sure that, every game that we play is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger from here as long as we keep winning, and that's the way you want it.
Thank you very much, Coach. As a reminder to our members of the media, please press *1 to get in the queue to ask questions for Coach Bell. Before we get to questions, Coach, I want to get your thoughts on the performance of Cody Brown last week. He's the defensive student athlete this week after 7 tackles and a pick 6. What was your thoughts? What are your thoughts on his performance last week?
Cody he was a huge addition for us in the off season. Coming from junior college. And the great thing about Cody is not only obviously how well he played last week, but, he's brought an incredible amount of toughness and leadership to our defense. He's been a great add, and not only from the physical and the athleticism standpoint, but just from a culture standpoint. He's a guy that comes to work every day. He's as good a practice player as he is in the game. And for a spot last year that for us, especially how thin we are at safety where we really struggled, he's kind of helped add that extra dimension to our defense, and, we're extremely proud of him.
Thank you very much, Coach. Our first questions come from Troy Schulte with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Troy, please go ahead.
Hey, Walt. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. Yourself?
Good. Hey, I was just curious through these first 3 conference games if you could evaluate your passing game. I mean, do you think Freddie still needs to kind of get in a rhythm after missing some games, or do you like how it's going, or just kind of what are your thoughts on that overall at this point?
The numbers kind of speak for themselves. We're nowhere near as good as we need to be, especially for us as the conference season continues to play. And, as well as we're running the football right now, at some point somebody's going to make a push where there's going to be one of those days where they're not just going to let us run the football, and they're going to make us beat us, in the throw game. There is a lot of rust there, when you sit out that amount of time. And then we've also, for 3 weeks in a row, we've gotten some, really exotic defenses, defenses that are so worried about our perimeter run game that, we're seeing a lot of odd things in terms of pictures in the back end, things that we didn't anticipate a little bit. But, as well as we're running the football right now, that's a great crutch to have. But, no, we've got to continue to get better and, just in terms of, how many wasted downs, and all that ties together, man. It's not just, quarterback play. It's protections. It's guys being where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. So, I'd say that the layoff has contributed to it a little bit, but we've also got some other things we got to clean up. We got to be a lot better in pass protection. And then, when our throws are there, we've had a lot of batted balls and some other things that you really can't control, but nowhere near, and long story short is we've got to improve. We're nowhere near as good as we were a year ago, and that's my responsibility.
As a play caller, are you comfortable being this run-heavy? I mean, you guys are usually kind of shaded more to the run anyways, but, would you guys like to be a little bit more balanced than what you have been the last 3 weeks?
You always would be, but at the end of the day, only one thing matters, and that's winning. And that's something that we've said from the beginning is, there are a bunch of school records that got broke last year, and everybody's really excited about us on offense just because of the statistics. But at the end of the day, there's only one record that matters, and that's the win and loss record. And that's where we'll stay. And if that means we got to run it 80 times and not throw it once, that's what we'll do. If that means we got to throw it 80 times and never run it, that's what we'll do. But we're running the football really well right now. We're struggling in some other areas, so we love to be balanced, and you love to be 50-50 right down the middle, but we're going to do whatever it takes to win.
Thanks, Walt.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Troy, and thank you, Coach Bell. We appreciate your time today.